guys come, we've had some fun.
It's time for the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Here with a load of laughs, info, and fun, it's Tony B, Dave B, and Timmy D.
Before I go alone. Don't ask me this and one more song. It ain't too costly, no, I ain't too cheap, so just relax. I'm on my knees.
Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 90, David B.
It's hard to believe, 90 already.
Yep, my name is Tony B. David B, you heard him. He's here. He's live in the studio. Timmy D's out today doing daddy duty. We have a special guest back in the studio, Hall of Famer Mike Lands. We're going to catch up with him. David and I will also discuss rate increases and some drivers, the availability, and how many are there. The views of Ship's Gonna Happen are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses a transportation provider. David, why do we do it?
Transportainment.
That's right. And we got one of the biggest transportainment actors in the world, Mike Lands, on the horn here. So you can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio. You just put us in a search engine and you will find us. David B, it's getting closer and closer to Christmas.
It is. So
it's cold out there.
Are you on the naughty list or the nice list, Tony?
I think I'm on the good list this year.
Yeah.
Maybe no, you put me on a naughty.
Well, I think you put yourself
Well,
on the
hang
naughty.
on. Can you hear the bell, David?
I can.
Okay, we're on the good list.
All right. All right. I can argue with that. This show, along with all our shows, are brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go after a Ship's Gonna Happen week. Great place to kind of go and unwind and kind of get a great meal, have some beverages, chat it up with the locals. Just excellent. We had our ugly sweater party at the Great Divide, and it was so much fun. We had a great turnout. Thanks for everybody for showing up. It was just so much fun, from what I remember.
Yeah,
But it was a really good time, and Tim won a prize. Friends of the show, Brian Huber was there.
What did Tim win?
I have no idea.
Second ugliest sweater.
I'm not. Maybe a good face. But anyway, it was just a great time. And again, our shows are sponsored by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Producer Tony, so good to see you today. And I'm excited because we have Mike Lands on the hook today. So this will be a great show.
Me too. Mike Lands has his YouTube channel. He'll tell us how else you can find him. He is a funny guy.
He's
a funny guy.
Good dude.
And I tell you what, I remember this about him. Here's what I remember most about him. If it's going to go down,
Yeah.
his daddy's ready too.
Yes.
Right?
There we go. All right.
Mr. Lands.
Good morning, guys.
Mike, how are you, sir?
I am doing okay. Cold.
Yeah.
Just a little tired, but
I'm not sorry to get you up this early. Are you in Grantsville this morning, or where are you?
I am in the Salt Lake area.
Okay.
I'm actually off today.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry to bother you on your day off. I hope.
No, it's all right. And I do got some errands and stuff I got to take care of, a few chores.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be able to hang around all day, but I am happy to be back.
Oh no, man, we're excited to have you back. How are things going with driving for Walmart? Good.
Well, that's the thing. I actually wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that.
Okay.
I'm actually no longer a driver for Walmart.
Okay.
Oh.
But the reason that I'm not a Walmart driver anymore is actually a good thing.
Okay.
I got a promotion.
Yay.
Oh, nice. I thought you was going to say because it was the last podcast show. I'm glad you didn't say that.
Yeah, just a reminder, Mike,
No,
if there's
no.
something you don't want to talk about today,
please don't.
feel free to just say, I'd rather not discuss that. Let's move on. So, can you talk about your promotion?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I've been really excited about. So back in what was it, early September, my safety manager got a promotion as well. He has been made the area site manager for the Grantsville DC.
Okay.
And what that is for the new associate to driver program that Walmart has started. and so he put out a memo saying that he needed 12 fleet development facilitators to work under him for this program. And I jumped at the opportunity and took it, and now I'm no longer a Walmart driver. So this position that I have, it's a management level training position.
Nice.
And what we do is, for this new program, we are taking current Walmart associates that work in supply chain and turning them into Walmart drivers.
So
Super cool.
so it's a company that Walmart contracts, or is it still Walmart that owns you?
No,
Okay.
no,
Totally separate.
This is Walmart
Okay.
internal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah. So we just started this program.
Okay.
I believe they have 2 classes have gone
Wow.
through already. The third one is starting in February, and that's going to be the first class that I'll be involved in. We have 7 locations around the country that we're going to be running these schools out of.
Okay.
And let's see, they are Sacramento, California, Grantsville, Utah, Dallas, Texas, Spring Valley, Illinois, Dover, Delaware, Seymour, Indiana, and Lawrence, South Carolina.
Nice.
Okay. So you don't have to move or anything. You're going to be staying put, right?
Yep, I'm going to stay in put because luckily my DC is one of those locations. So I'm not on the road anymore. I haven't been behind the wheel, actually on the road, assigned to load in a little bit over a month.
Wow.
So it's a little weird. There's definitely a transition period, coming off the road like that. I was just telling one of my coworkers yesterday that I'm already kind of missing it
Right.
out there, but I'm really excited for this new position because it's a bit of a fire hose situation where you got a lot coming at you. But it's been just fantastic so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome. That is.
Yeah.
We're very excited for you. What do you see do you see this as a stepping stone, maybe into something else also? Maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Mhm.
Maybe doing this for a few years and then maybe moving on to something just a little bit bigger, something a little higher up. But if I go any higher than this, I'm going to have to go back to school. So
Okay.
I think I'll use this time to do that as well, because the same program that Walmart offers that allows associates to go to get a college degree, basically on Walmart, it is the same program that puts the associates who sign up for the fleet development program the ability to go get their CDL.
Mm.
So the way it works is that our program is 12 weeks long.
Okay.
Right, it's 12 weeks. So the first 4 weeks through that Live Better You program, Walmart puts the associates through a CDL, a third-party CDL school, and then after they get their they get all their certifications, they come to us for 8 weeks of training.
Okay.
And then the plan is in the future to get all of the facilitators certified through their various states that they're going to be managing, to actually do the first 4 weeks of that process as well, to cut out that third-party school. But it's through that same program where I'm going to be getting my degree. That's the same program that's going to be putting them through their CDL training.
So what is Mike? What does an associate at Walmart have to do if they want to get their CDL?
Well, they have to. I believe that the easiest way is they can send an email
Mm-hmm.
to, I believe it's associate to driver at walmart.com.
Okay.
As of right now, it's only supply chain associates, so
Mhm.
people that work in the warehouse. And then I believe the next class after the one that's about to start in February, it'll be opened up to basically everybody that works for Walmart. They just have to have been working here for a year. And then it's associate to driver at walmart.com.
So
Or they can call there's a candidate support line, but any Walmart associate can find that info on the One Walmart website.
so how long has this program been active?
I believe since the beginning of this year,
Wow.
we've had two classes go through. The classes, those first two classes were kind of the early like pilot
Sure.
of the of the program, and it was a huge success. So now it's official and they're spread it across the country
Wow.
to those 7 locations. So we had we have 84 candidates go through the program at each facility at a time.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I take that back. 12 at a time, but over the course of the year, it's 84.
You guys are going to steal all the drivers in the nation.
That's kind of the plan. Yeah, because as of now, Walmart is a little bit over 13,000 drivers. I think 13,200 drivers, and we want to grow our fleet probably another 5,000 to 7,000 drivers in the next few years.
So Mike is with, and this, it sounds like an awesome program that you guys are doing. Do they ever mention anything about autonomy with this? I mean, is that in the plans for Walmart at all, or do you know?
Now when you say autonomy, do you mean the
Autonomous
self-driving
trucks.
Yeah, the
trucks and things like
autonomous
that?
trucks. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it, and as far as I know, they're not making any plans to
Okay.
do that anytime soon.
Okay.
But back to that.
Because Walmart is.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say because Walmart is very heavily investing in the private fleet.
Sounds like it.
That's awesome.
So hiring drivers, growing the fleet, and not shrinking it, right? So it doesn't really say to me that they're looking to go into autonomy at all.
Sure.
Since they're throwing, I mean, this program alone is millions and millions of dollars that Walmart is throwing at this program, right? So so there is a little bit of pressure because Bentonville has their eyes on every one of these facilities because this is a big investment that Walmart's putting into the private fleet, and they want to, of course, they want to return on it. They don't want it to just be a waste.
Right.
So, but yeah, like from what I understand, the goal is to grow the fleet. Like I said, 5 to 7, or on the upper side, 7 to 10,000 more drivers in the next 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
So they must expect some big time growth to continue to do that.
Yeah, this program that I'm a part of now. I mean, from what I understand, they received 3,600 interest surveys when they first posted them. So that's 3,600 Walmart associates who are interested in the program. And the applications just went live day before yesterday, so on Thursday. And I believe in the last few hours of the day, because it wasn't posted in the morning, it's posted in the mid-afternoon, they received, I think, just for our region, I think almost 200 applications.
Dang.
In just a few hours.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of interest in it. A lot of the Walmart supply chain associates see it as a huge career opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going from working in the warehouse. I'm not exactly sure how much they make. I know they're paid.
And they pay pretty well, I would imagine. Yep.
Yeah, but they're not 6 figures.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Working in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And Walmart's new starting pay for a first-year driver is average 110,000.
Wow.
Right. So they're seeing those numbers and being like, well, Walmart's offering this program. Walmart's going to pay for my CDL. They're going to pay for my travel to the facility. They're going to put me in a hotel for 8 weeks. They're going to pay for my food, and they're going to pay me a salary and train me, and then pay me $100,000 a year to be a driver.
Where do I sign up?
So they're like, yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean, Mike, this might be the most successful. I mean, I've been doing this for 23 years. David's been in it a long time too. This might be the most successful driver program I've ever heard of.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, I'm getting a real good inside look at it, and man, it's crazy. It's under the transportation division, of course. So I'm working with my former safety manager. So it's funny. He and I kind of joke about it, but he and I actually hired on the same day.
Okay.
So on my first day at driver onboarding, he came in and introduced himself. That he's the new safety manager. Today is his first day, kind of thing. So we both started at Walmart on the same day. And then so I was a driver under him when he was my safety manager, and then he promoted, and then I promoted, and now he's my manager again in the fleet development program as well. So there's no escaping him,
Right. Right. Exactly. So now you're are you going to be Monday through Friday now? Or are you going to be kind of a normal
Monday
work?
through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday, salary, all that stuff. So I'm working in the office now. So right now, since the first associate to driver class isn't starting, well for our facility, it's not starting until February. What they've been having us do over the last month, and then we'll be doing it into January, is we've been actually running the new driver onboarding process at our facility. So I've been getting some some a little bit more hands-on experience, doing some training, doing some assessments, working on public speaking, doing stuff like that, because we have to get up in front of the class, and we have to do PowerPoint presentations and all kinds of stuff to get them through the onboarding process. So we're doing that as kind of practice right now, and then in February we'll be taking over the full associate to driver class that's coming in. We already have a full class booked. We have 12 people coming in. So the way it's set up is that we have 12 facilitators per facility, right? And it's the same size as the class of candidates. So they wanted these candidates to have a one-on-one relationship with their trainers, with the facilitators. We didn't want to have too big class sizes. While Walmart could, if they wanted, have classes of 24 or 36 or 48 candidates per class based on the interest. They said no, we're gonna slow it down, make it smaller class sizes, so that we have a one-to-one ratio of facilitators and candidates, so that they can get the best training as possible, right? Because this associate to driver program is bypassing Walmart's current 2.5 year experience requirement. So we the standards are very high, and the training is very long. Training for 8 weeks is a long time.
Yeah.
And so you might think that there's only so much that you can teach somebody to be a truck driver, but I've been through the curriculum, and there's a lot.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot more than you might think. So up until this program, there was no pipeline between the entirety of Walmart and Walmart drivers. There's no ability to transfer, right? So the CEO of Walmart, if he wanted to become a Walmart driver, he couldn't do it, right? He would have to quit. He'd have to leave Walmart, go get his CDL, get on with another company, get 2.5 years experience, and then reapply to be a driver at Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good program, man. Do you?
Yeah. So so this program creates that pipeline. So now, once it goes full after this next class, any store associate, any office associate who works at like in Bentonville, someone who works in Bentonville and wants to, at our home office wants to be a driver, they now have that pipeline to do so if they want.
Hey, Mike, how many?
Yes, sir.
How many drivers do you guys have total in your at Walmart? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. Right now we're sitting at about 13,200.
So you have 13,000. Do you know the average age of the drivers?
No, I don't. I do believe the average age is on the older side.
That's what I was thinking. Like that's why this program is going to be so huge.
Yeah. The 57% of the Walmart private fleet drivers have 5 years on,
Mm.
and 1 million plus safe miles.
Wow.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. So this is going to be this is going to be changing that number, of course, since we're going to be growing the fleet and growing it really fast.
It sounds like it.
So that number is going to be changing, but the reason that the average age seems to be a little bit higher is because we have one of the lowest attrition rates in the industry. I believe at worst it hovers around 13.
Wow.
Right. Whereas the industry standard is about 43.
Well, yeah. Wow.
Okay. So the main reason most people leave Walmart is they retire.
Right.
So, I mean, any DC you go to, most drivers you run into are at least in their 40s, at least.
Are you seeing the business volumes to warrant this kind of an increase in drivers, Mike?
That's actually a really good question. From where I am, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if we can if we can really extrapolate that out nationwide, but GM, from what I've seen, it's a little slow right now for Walmart just because it's we're approaching Christmas, things are winding down.
Right.
But grocery is still booming as normal. So and then after January, it picks back up and things like that. But as far as it's from the numbers that I've seen, yeah, we were actually just going over numbers yesterday, and everything except for one small thing is in the green. So that means things are month over month better than the last. So from the numbers that I've seen, yeah. But I don't have a big enough picture,
a crystal ball,
from where I am, but just from what I see, yeah.
Okay. Because in our industry, they're still telling terminals to hire drivers, and I think it's because, David, of the age. Yeah. These retirements are going to keep a stream of them coming.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to get caught.
I definitely wanted to get Mike's perspective. Because a lot of times on this show too, we'll talk about how we read some stories where business is slow and the economy is slowing down, and so
driver shortage.
But then when you hear an encouraging story like this out of Walmart, it makes you wonder what are you hearing that's right or whatever. And it's encouraging to have hear this story, and definitely we're super excited for you, Mike. This has got to, I mean, you on a personal level, Mike, this had to be something that you were just like, hell yeah, this is going to be a good thing, right? You're excited, aren't you?
Oh yeah. As soon as the position was offered, I immediately jumped on it. I think I might have been the first application that my manager got after he posted it.
No DOT inspections, right? You get out doing a lot of things, right?
Nobody hopping on the back of your trailer and you're heading down the road and you peek out the window, the mirror, and like, what's going on back there?
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like I still have a few guys that give me a hard time about that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm like in the system. Like I'm no longer classified as a driver, so it's kind of weird. And it's funny. We were all joking because at Walmart DCs we have, like, in the driver room there'd be a board that's kind of behind like a window, like a secured window thing, but they have a cork board. And they put up all the drivers' pictures and their hire dates. Like I think literally the day after I signed my offer letter, they snatched my picture off there. Same with everybody else. And so there's a lot of questions going around the office, like why are there like all these drivers missing? Like what happened? People were thinking that there was a huge firing or a bunch of people quit. I mean, our top driver at my DC, who's been driving for Walmart for going on 33 years. He was up in that number one spot on the board. People came in and all of a sudden he's gone. And they're like, what happened to, so-and-so?
Right.
Well, he's back there with us now. So he's going to be, so he's one of our facilitators as well, which is really cool because with all the facilitators we have just the better part of 200 years of driving experience between us. Right. So the candidates that are going to be coming in, we're going to be working with them very closely, getting them up to speed, ready to get out on the road.
So you have to keep your
So,
CDL license, though, right?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we
You're just
do.
not listed as a driver anymore for Walmart.
Yep, correct. Yeah, we have to have our CDL because, um, we are going to be doing
Yeah, I
road
thought-
tests with the candidates. I mean, when we're doing road tests now with the people that are coming through onboarding, just the regular driver onboarding. But when we do the associate to driver program, part of the curriculum is that later in their training, uh, we're actually going to be going out and doing store loads with them. Right. So we're going to get real world training with these candidates. It's not just going to be in the classroom and on the yard. We're going to be taking loaded trailers and doing deliveries at stores. So we're actually going to get them out there on the highway doing deliveries and things like that.
So, Mike, real quick, does a Walmart driver unload every load?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Walmart drivers do not touch. Like we don't touch our own freight.
Okay.
GM loads are, 90% of the time they're dropping hook. If you're delivering to like a neighborhood market, one of those the little grocery store Walmarts, those ones, even with GM, those are usually live unloaded because it's only a couple pallets. But if you're GM, 90% of the time it's dropping hook. Grocery, the store associates unload our grocery trailers.
Wow.
So it is kind of nice, when you get to, even if you're on a grocery load, you got 5 stops on you, all you do is just bump the dock, open the door, you break the seal, take the lock off, open the door, and just
Kinda like LTL,
you
right?
stand there and make sure that they're taking the right stuff. Right.
Yeah.
I was go ahead, Mike.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I was a manager at Aldi Foods, and in the Aldi grocery system, the driver unloads it all.
Yeah.
So you would literally be waiting sometimes a little too long, but they would put pressure on you at the corporate office to get that driver out of here. And so it was always a little stressful when they came on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's good to know that it's kind of in our world, in the LTL world, the usually generally the customer on the other end is using the tow motor and whatnot and removing it. Just wasn't sure how you guys done that.
Yeah. It's before I worked at Walmart, I've done the grocery delivery stuff. I've done LTL. Like Walmart's a totally different experience as far as being a driver. It's pretty unique. I mean, just what I was talking about with the grocery thing, that alone kind of makes it stand out a bit. We don't load or unload our trailers ever. So there may be some small exceptions, like maybe somewhere back east, there's like maybe one DC where the drivers have to load their own stuff or something, but that's like a special case, right? So, I'm really excited about this program, man. I've seen the enthusiasm. We have associates at my DC in Grantsville that are coming up to me and asking questions, and they're really interested. We have one of our yard drivers that's really excited to get on the program, and he's been kind of hounding me and my manager, for info. And
you
he's
got
a
the
little
old
bummed
yard
out.
dog.
Yeah. He's ready to get after it. He's very excited. But the problem is that our first class for the associates driver program, they are coming from the Northwest. So, we aren't taking our own associates yet in Grantsville. So that associate I was talking about, the yard driver, he's going to have to wait until the next class after that. I believe it starts in May.
Okay.
I think. So he's going to have to wait till then. Because I believe there's a bigger demand in the Northwest for drivers, and there's there's high demand and there's high interest, and so Walmart is kind of filling in where where the demand is. So all of the drivers, or all the candidates that are coming down from the Northwest that are coming to Grantsville for the associate to driver program, they're all going to be driving out of Region 1 West Coast DCs, like Red Bluff, California, and um, Grandview, Washington, Hermiston, Oregon.
Okay.
They're going to be driving out of there.
A lot of country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I believe after that, we're gonna it's gonna get mixed up a little bit.
Why do you
where
think the
we're
interest
gonna
is
do-
there, Mike, though? Real quick. Why do you think so much interest there?
That's-
If you could guess.
That's a good question. I'm guessing, and again, this is just a guess. I could be completely wrong, but I think maybe it's a little bit harder to get drivers up there,
Yeah.
maybe because of the weather, because it snows and people don't like training.
hmm
I'm sure that has some kind of effect on it, but there is a high there is high interest from
Hmm.
the associates. So
Wow.
it's like, okay, there's a high demand for drivers, but then there's also high interest from the associates. So what's causing the gap? Like why is there such a demand? And I don't know if it's the associates that are the issue, or if it's the DCs out there are trying to expand for some reason. I really have no idea. It's really just guesswork.
Yeah.
So at any time, Mike, leading up to this, have you found yourself maybe like actively recruiting some people? Like, I bet that guy, he'd be good at this. Do you try to recruit at all?
Not not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Because of the demand and everything going on, it would be kind of unfair to, well, especially with this first class not even being out of our DC. So
Sure.
there's really, I was planning on holding off on that because I don't want to start trying to recruit people and be like, yeah, so just go put your thing in, and then you have to wait a year
Yeah.
before
Okay.
you can get in.
Makes sense.
So I mean, you got to keep in mind that each class at each facility is only 12.
Right.
So if we have hundreds and hundreds of people, they have to go through a whole screening process before they can even get into the program. It's not you just sign up and you're in.
Right.
They have to submit an application. They have to go through background check. They have to do drug screen. They have to do multiple interviews. What else? The facilitators, or I believe the site managers, have to speak to their direct managers, both their like warehouse manager and their HR manager and stuff. And there's a bunch of requirements that they'd have to meet. All those requirements, they're all listed on the postings on Workday, Walmart's internal site. Um, but they have to go through that whole screening process. And then once they finish the screening process, the candidates are selected. So it's like if we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications, which we seem to be getting, uh, there's only 12 slots per class,
Sure.
right? So each facility at max is gonna pump out 84 drivers a year. Um, per facility, and there's 7 facilities.
Mm.
So that's
How many people?
max 84
Okay.
a year.
84 years. So that's times 7. That's 588.
Yep.
It's a lot.
So that's the goal.
Mhm.
588 drivers a year, right?
Going through the associate driver
Yeah.
program. That's not including just regular drivers that are coming through onboarding.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many do you
So
have come
we
through there from onboarding? How many do you, Mike, do you have come through onboarding?
Well, it varies. The busier time is, I believe, spring and summer.
Mm-hmm.
So this last class that we had in Grantsville only had 2 people in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The one that's starting Monday, a couple days from now, there's only 1 person.
wow.
1 person is coming through onboarding alone. So we're making some adjustments to the way that we're going to run it, because if there's just one or two people, it's like it's already stressful enough as it is. So we're making adjustments where we're not all there at the same time, because you can imagine you're going through Walmart onboarding, you're like, oh, like I'm here, like it's it's happening, kind of thing, and then you're sitting there during a presentation, and you have the person in the front leading it, and then you have 12 instructors sitting behind you.
Right. Yeah.
So we're making adjustments where we're going to make it a little bit less stressful for them. And then so we have one on Monday, had two this last week, and then I think we had 4 or 5 the week before that. So at the end of the year, it slows down.
So it would be okay to say like Walmart has generally 500 to 1,000 new drivers coming on board every year.
Yeah, I mean it may be more than that, because
That's a lot,
the
man.
class sizes they vary.
Wow.
They definitely vary. So I was just on LinkedIn earlier, and I'm seeing basically every week there's at least one person per facility that kind of posts like a kind of a group picture with all the new drivers that finish onboarding, and I see these facilitators and CDTs around the country posting pictures of their classes every week, and I'm doing the same on my end, and I'm seeing classes of 5, I'm seeing classes of 10, classes of 15 and 20. So the biggest class I've ever heard of was about 60 people going through at once. But
That's incredible,
I believe, but I believe we try not to have classes that big anymore, just because it's too much and it takes too long. So from what I understand, in the spring and summer, the class sizes swell back up, and it'll be around 8 to 12 people usually per class.
It's just amazing. They're aggressive, aren't they, with this program?
Well, as far as I know, it's not Walmart that's being aggressive. It's just people want to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Right.
sense.
So, look, sorry, go ahead.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like Walmart doesn't do like aggressive like advertising for driving positions. Matter of fact, like here in Utah, the first time I ever saw a billboard for a Walmart, for becoming a Walmart driver, they made an announcement about it, because there wasn't one in all of Utah.
Wow.
And so Walmart paid for a like an ad spot on one of those electronic billboards.
Yep.
We're on a billboard.
And it showed, it shows up for 5 seconds. They made an announcement about it, so it's like we don't advertise a lot, but people just it's just known around the industry that if you want to if you want to be a truck driver, Walmart's the place to go.
Sounds like.
So from what I understand, Walmart turns down more people than they accept.
Oh,
well,
sure.
that's what Dave and I are wondering. What's the age cutoff?
Right.
The age cutoff?
Yeah.
Are we too old?
No. If you guys want to come over, you guys are welcome. So
what's the age? Do you have an age, Mike? Limit?
We don't have an age cutoff. No, as long as you can pass your DOT physical, you can come over. There's nothing stopping anybody as far as age is concerned. As long as you can pass your DOT, you're good.
Awesome.
So does this put an end to your YouTube videos, Mike, or are you still going to do those?
Good question.
Well, so the thing about that is, like I'd have to change the content, right? Because I'm not a driver anymore.
Right.
So the content would be totally different. And then since now the position that I'm in is a management position, I have to be more careful about what I say. So I can't be as loose with my information, or I wouldn't say loose with information, because I've never really been loose with information, but loose with my tongue, right? And saying things I'm not supposed to say. So, and since I'm not a driver, I can't do the things that I used to do. And on top of that, Walmart has really strict policies about what we can and can't show at the DCs and things like that.
Well, maybe you could do a YouTube video about being like one of the only Patriots fans that lives in flippin' Utah.
Yeah, the lonely
I
Patriot
am.
fan.
That's why we say,
Oh
Mike,
man,
this
Yeah.
is one of the
I
reasons why
haven't.
we saved you for this late in the season, was to kind of bash you about
We
the
wanted to
Patriots,
pick
but the
on you.
Colts
Yeah.
suck too. So
Yeah.
that's
Don't say
kind
anything
of
bad about the Colts.
No, I'm not going to say anything bad about the Colts. I know I'm outnumbered here.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. There you go.
Hey,
um,
go ahead though, Mike. Go ahead.
no, it's fine. Go ahead. It's your question.
Have you watched Peyton Manning and Eli's show at all on Sunday night or Monday night? When did they do that?
No,
Sunday night. Sunday night. Have you ever?
no, I haven't.
It's kind of funny. They had on Tom Brady not too long ago, and they were talking about him. But anyways, your Patriots though, they could still make the playoffs, right?
As far as I know, I will be honest with you. I haven't been following it this year,
Sure.
so
Busy man.
it's normally I try to keep up with them, at least somewhat. But I got to tell you, this year I've checked what's going on like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
just
the
kind
same
of
way.
Me
keep
too.
an eye on it.
Mhm.
They're outside looking in is what's going on. Anyways.
Yeah.
I'm
And and it's the same thing with like my YouTube channel. Like I just been like I haven't posted anything on my YouTube channel in over a month.
mhm.
I just been too busy, and that's actually not a great thing because people are still asking me like, hey, like where are you? Like you haven't posted in a long time. I was like, yeah, I probably should be kind of just hanging out in silence, not letting them know what's going on. So I actually haven't even posted an update saying anything on my YouTube channel about this new position or anything.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
it was
I
a
need to,
surprise
Yeah.
when we didn't expect this
yeah,
out of you this morning, but we're definitely happy for you.
No, you could
yeah.
next video send them over to us. We'll be happy to keep them occupied.
Oh yeah. I've been I definitely gave you guys a shout out
Oh
the
yeah.
last time.
Oh yeah, I know
Last
it's
Yeah,
time we
great.
we're
talked.
very, very much appreciative of that.
Absolutely.
Man, it's so even Mike, would it be all right with you? I know you're not going to be in the driver role anymore, but we'd love to have you
Mhm.
back again, maybe sometime middle of next year or whatever, and kind of catch up with you and see how things are going. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like by then I'd have more information about the program, or well, not necessarily about the program, but how things are going with the program.
We'd be happy to
So,
discuss it. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
one
for
more
sure.
question for you, Mike, or another question for you is
Yeah.
what's your weather like there right now? Are you experiencing a bunch of snowstorm or what's going on?
Yeah, all this last week it was snowstorms for most of the week, so it was a bit rough. But it's sitting at I just checked the weather before we start, but let me get an update. Sitting at 11 degrees right
Ooh,
now where I am.
Mhm.
ooh.
So
It's
it's a little
chilly.
bit it's a little bit on the chilly side. I think we're gonna have a high at 28 today.
That's what it's going to be here
It's
also.
beautiful.
Are
Yeah,
you into are you a skier or into winter sports at all?
winter sports, no.
Right.
Being outside in general, yeah.
Yeah.
So like hunting, fishing, things like that.
There you go.
Sure, but
Have
snow,
you done
not so
your
much.
share of hunting this fall?
Not this fall,
Okay.
not this fall. But we do have some stuff that we're gonna be doing in the spring,
Mm-hmm.
and then next fall we're gonna get it popping. Right, we're
Right.
gonna get out there, get
Where's
after it.
where's your favorite fishing hole?
Fishing hole
Or
up here in Utah. Well, I'd say I'm a little torn. One of the best places is Bear Lake. It's up in the north. It's up in the north eastern corner of Utah. There's a lake up there that's pretty nice, and then there's all kind of rivers and tributaries that kind of run off of it.
okay.
Uh, those are real nice. A lot of my coworkers are they're into fly fishing.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I've only been fly fishing once in my life, and I was a teenager when I did that. So it's something that I actually might get into,
Mhm.
just because so many of my coworkers, the other facilitators, they're into it as well. So I think I'm gonna kind of transfer over to doing that,
Yeah, there's a
and
technique to
kind
that.
of try something new. Yeah.
I
There's
bet.
I've done it a few times. It's a little technique to get it down, and then once you get it down, it's pretty easy. But one thing I wanted to do, man, we didn't do at the beginning is congratulations on your promotion, man. It's huge. Forgot to do that earlier. Wanted to hit that for you there.
I appreciate it, guys. I do.
Yeah, you're awesome, Mike. We greatly appreciate you taking some time for us this morning. And like I said, about the middle of next year, I'll hit you up again and see if you're interested in coming back on, and we get to learn about how you've progressed and also how about the program has progressed.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys having me on. It was fun last time. I mean, unfortunately, I was out on the road
Yeah.
last time, so I had a lot of distractions. So I kind of got a little bit mixed up a few times, but
Doesn't matter.
it's really awesome to come on your guys' show.
Oh,
You guys are doing great.
thank you.
Before we go though, I mean, what do you, Mike? We know you're from, you weren't born and raised there, but what do you do like for the holidays? Do you go back to see family? Will you see your dad and mom, or what will happen?
I am probably gonna fly out and
Mhm.
see try to see my family. Basically, everybody in my family just up and moved to Oklahoma.
Oh,
Wow.
Like, yeah, over the last month or so.
Why Oklahoma?
Uh, well, because we already had family down there,
Okay.
and compared to California, Oklahoma is cheap.
right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the kind of home that my mom just purchased down there would have been on the bottom end $500,000,
Right.
Ooh-wee.
but she got it for like two.
Right.
Sure. Right.
So, yeah, like I said, we already had family down there. Actually, I don't know if you'd call him, I guess, yeah, my uncle, one of my uncles on my mom's side, he's actually a Walmart driver. He works out of the Bartlesville, Oklahoma, DC.
Hmm.
It's a grocery DC that's up north of Tulsa.
So how far is Oklahoma from you then? It's not that you would you have to fly that or would you drive that?
I would fly it.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah, I mean, like a flight, it's probably like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours,
Mhm.
give or take. Because back in October, I actually went on vacation, and I flew down to Orlando for a week.
Wow.
And that was like a 4.5 hour
Yeah.
flight, 5 hour flight, something like that. Um, like which matter of fact, I wanted to mention that. Um, working at Walmart, we accrue. The drivers accrue PTO really quick,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use them as you get them. You don't kind of wait, right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of companies where you get your PTO, and they're like, oh well, you'll get it at your 1 year
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've worked in places like that. Walmart's not like that. If you start and 2 weeks after you start driving, you accrue a day of PTO, and you want to use it, you can use it. It's up to you. So I took a whole week off, paid vacation, and went down to Universal Studios in Orlando for a week with my sister.
Cool.
And that was after being there for a year, or yeah, a little bit over a year. And when I came back, I still had like 15, 16 days of PTO left.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible, man. They sounds
So,
like they
so
I'm not just blowing smoke for Walmart, but I mean, it just sounds like they just really have a great driver, associate to driver program, and an overall good driver program to get hired there. They pay well, and people as intelligent as you are, Mike, wouldn't be there if that wasn't a good program and it wasn't a good place. So,
yeah,
I mean, applauds.
before last time we talked, I said that I wasn't planning on going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that hasn't changed.
Good.
That hasn't changed. Now that I'm in this new position, and I see where I can potentially go, I'm definitely not planning on leaving.
Yeah, you're
Right?
man. You could make a living off doing that. The rest of your life because you're very well spoken, and you've done it right. So you're a good model for these new people that want to come in and drive.
Mhm. Well, I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Um, I actually discovered that I kind of had a knack for teaching other people
I could see that.
um, by accident. Like I found that by accident. Actually, when I was in trucking school 10 years ago, is when I found that because our trainers uh, there at the school were looking for any reason to be lazy. Um, what they would do is towards the end of the class, the end of the school, when you get into the last part of your second week, like when you're out on the yard, the class behind you comes onto the yard as well. And so they had me and one other guy, the only two people that graduated our class out of 16.
Mm.
They had the two of us teaching the next class how to do the pre-trip.
Okay.
And that's actually where I found that I kind of had a knack
Right.
uh, for talking to people and teaching processes and things like that. Um, so when this opportunity came up, I was like, well, it's been 10 years, but uh, we'll go and give it a shot and see if I still got it. And I think I do.
Yeah, you'll do well.
Yeah.
We're excited for you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
You might be training me and Dave soon.
That's right. That's right. I like that.
Hey, like I said earlier, you guys are always welcome.
Cool.
So how are things going with your guys' show?
Oh, it's a great question. Thanks for asking, Mike. That's first time I think anybody's ever asked us. Well, I mean, we're chugging along. We've kind of, as Tony and I like to say, we've kind of taken a couple detours lately. We've had a gentleman that's was born in France, and he has a book out, and then he's getting ready to do a movie. We had him and his producer in for one day. We've actually had them in twice. We've kind of taken some detours, but we went well. Some people kind of went cold on us, like the people that we've had on in the past, and we've tried to bring back for whatever reason. They just, they're like, yeah, it was awesome. And then when we reach out to them again, they just, which is fine, whatever. If you don't want to come back, it's all right. But yeah, it's going. I mean, we're trying, we're pushing. We haven't given up. Like Tony mentioned at the beginning, this is episode 90, and so sometime in it should be about March-ish. Sometime in March, we'll do our 100th show. We're excited about that. We're trying to find our niche, and we're getting there. We've had you on, and we've had some other people that we can rely on to get back, and it's good to have some repeat guests back. And um there's a gal on Instagram that we've brought on a few times, and she does an excellent job of pushing the show. Even if she hasn't been on the show lately, she'll kind of give us a shout out and tell people to listen. And
Oh, yeah.
we're trying to gain our traction. And I think we have a good I think we have a good format, and we're also open to critiques and suggestions, and as we try to grow. But I really enjoy doing this, and I think Tony and Tim do also. So not to speak
Well,
for
I
them.
used to do it in college and loved it, and was going to dedicate my life to radio and broadcast. But I'm looking at the stats right now. The podcast is actually growing. The problem is well, not the problem, but where do you go? What do you do next? Right. So you did video, right? And video, I think we've talked about that, but see, we have 3 people hosting a show, co-hosting, right? So you have to have 3 cameras. So there's a little bit of difficulty with that, with me cost wise, right? So you just want to.
Yeah.
The show's growing, though. To answer your question, it's grown. But it I don't know what to do if we add video in or whatever. And like Dave says, you got to find a niche. That's what we've looked for. And that can always be a challenge. That can be a needle in a haystack, right? So, but it's grown. Most of our listeners are on iHeartRadio and Spotify.
Okay.
And so in YouTube, we get people watching on YouTube. I mean, if you combine all that, it's growing. But not at the rate we want, right? And it goes like Dave says in bumps. So, but he's right. It's we've just tried to meet people like yourself to try to uh, you know commingle what you're doing with what we're doing, and just try to get the word. I mean, we just like talking about trucking and,
Yeah.
and talking about and meeting with drivers and stuff. We didn't, to give you a more perspective on it, we didn't divest into, some people on YouTube pay for viewership, right? They pay
Mm.
they pay for that. So we've not done any of that. We've kind of just really did this thing out of the garage or
Yeah.
back seat of the car type thing. We knew I knew what kind of equipment to get from my past. So um there's things we need to do better, but we all have full-time jobs, right?
Yeah. It's
So
like,
that's
yeah.
probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. We all work an excessive amount
Right.
during the week, and not making excuses, Mike. It's just like, by the time whatever day gets here, like when Saturday morning rolls around,
Right.
definitely looking forward to doing this. But, sometimes like your brain's just so fried. And you're like, what am I supposed to talk about today?
Yeah.
And it's just difficult. But I mean, it's awesome though. I really, really
We enjoy
enjoy
it.
doing it. Yeah. And, we, Walmart driver Rich Warren, he's been on before out of Gas City. He's been a huge supporter of our show.
That's how we
also.
met Mike, wasn't it?
We Mike first. We had
Oh,
Mike
okay, right,
first, and
right.
then Rich Warren.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
yep. But yeah, it's people like you, man, that we're so grateful to have. That and when and I don't know if you noticed this, Mike, but as soon as we started talking, I'm like, it's like we just conversation
Yeah.
just picked up from the last time,
Right.
and those are the kind of guests that you like to have, and you've been an
Oh,
outstanding
yeah.
guest, and we appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You guys are so you guys are doing pretty well. From starting from the ground up, um, and having and like having a channel or having a show that's it's in its own little niche, right? It's not something that your average everyday person is trying to watch or listen to. It is really hard to
Right.
grow
Exactly.
from that. Um,
And who the
so,
heck really likes
but
to
like
talk about trucking
yeah, yeah. We
other than us?
I would say, well, like I said, so like with my channel, it is a slog trying to grow it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, YouTube is kind of unique in that space. I'm not on iHeartRadio or Spotify or anything, so I have no idea how to grow on that. But YouTube is it's its own challenge. Trying to grow on there. One of my friends, he's actually a Walmart driver out of Porterville, California, and he has a YouTube channel, and his channel is bigger than mine. Right, so it's probably about twice as big as mine. But it's just because he's gone in there and he's studied the algorithm
Right. It's
a little bit,
huge.
and
Huge.
yes, so he knows how to play it a little bit. Um, so it's you really have to dig deep into it to try and get
Right.
a firm grasp on exactly how to grow. It's a challenge that I've struggled with. One of the problems that I have is that I don't post frequently enough. One of the pieces of advice that he gave me was just to post frequently,
Mhm.
Right.
right? Even if it's like a YouTube short video, something like that, just post once or twice a day at least,
Wow.
and that gains you more traction in the algorithm.
Does.
And then there's a bunch of other things like tags, like
Mhm.
the tags you got on your videos.
Yep.
The more tags, the better.
Yep.
Mm.
I put them all in there.
So it's like,
Yeah.
like when I post my videos, I put so many tags. I just a dozen, 2 dozen tags on there. And when you look on the analytics on your channel, it tells you like the phrases people are typing into and then finding your content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, so you want to throw those in your tags as well, things like that. So then there's all kinds of tricks to doing it, but like I said, or well, actually, like you guys are saying, it's a This is just a part-time thing. You guys are also working full-time
Yep.
as well. So it's kind of the same. We are kind of in the same boat as far as
Sure.
that's concerned. The social media stuff, the YouTube stuff, that's all just a kind of a hobby that we do in the background. Luckily, I'm not relying on income
Mm-hmm.
from YouTube, because if I was, I wouldn't be as big as I am now.
Yeah,
So,
no doubt.
Yep. And one of the things we need better visibility too. We need to, like the Mid America Truck Show that's in Louisville. It wouldn't hurt me or two of us to drive down and Jacinda Duran is there and Larry Cothran's there and see these drivers and shake their hands and get try to get some name
Yeah.
behind the face stuff too. But again, and not I promise I'm not making excuses. It's just very difficult. It's we all work a ton, and it's I really enjoy doing this.
Well, one thing that I recently discovered that I really didn't know is most of the YouTubers want you to hit that like and subscribe because that helps build the algorithm.
Yeah.
So that's something we don't preach on. I'm guilty of not preaching on that. So but yeah, man, you think of it, hey, Walmart wants to do a sponsorship, Mike, let us know, brother. We'll be David and I'll be bells and whistles on flying out to Utah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and pass it up the chain. I don't know how far up the chain it'll go, but I'll pass it along.
It'll slide right back down, Mike.
It might not make it past my boss. So
right,
we'll
exactly. Yeah, you don't have to do that. No, don't worry about that. I was saying that in gist. So yeah.
Well, yeah. So if at some point, like I said earlier, with this new associate to driver program, we have 7 locations around the country, and one of them is in Seymour, Indiana.
Yeah,
and I know you guys are out there in Indiana.
Just south of us.
Yep.
Yeah. So if at some point my job is going to take me out there to Indiana, I'm going to let you guys know. We can go get some wings or something.
Let's do that. That sounds good, brother.
You know what goes good with wings, Mike? Beer
and an Uber
have
driver.
A few ideas, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it for sure, man. We'd love to hook up with you. That would be awesome. Well,
oh yeah,
we want to wish you the happiest of holidays, Mike, too, while we have you on here, and you are one of our favorites.
Man. Yeah. Merry Christmas to you, Mike, and your family.
Yeah, guys. To you guys as well. I really appreciate you having me on again.
Yeah. Good luck with your new job. You're going to do well.
You're going to do.
We know you're going to do well, and we're going to call you Professor Mike from now on, if that's okay. Is that all right with you?
The professor. All right. Hey, that sounds good to me.
Awesome. Well, you have a great rest of your weekend,
It's not the worst
Mike,
thing I've ever been called.
There we go. You have a great rest of your weekend, Mike, and happiest of holidays to you and yours.
Yeah. To you guys as well. Merry Christmas.
You too, man. And congrats on the promotion.
Right,
yep.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one, okay?
All right,
too,
take
man.
care, Mike.
Take care, Mike.
See ya.
Yep. That was Mike Land. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer Mike Land.
Yeah,
That's
boom.
awesome. I got cold chills.
Awesome.
Great.
David B. Let's see let's get into
before we get into sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can we I want to talk about that. What we just spoke with Mike about how I mean that should be a model for other businesses to I mean I'm assuming this is going to work really well with Walmart, and I'm sure other trucking companies do have this kind of thing, but you just wish that you heard more about it.
I'm a firm believer that as long as we've been doing this show, I've got to say that Walmart has the best, might have the best driver training program in America, and they reward them.
Yep.
So,
and you're bumping the dock, not to just simplifying the job, but like Mike said, you don't touch the freight.
Yeah.
You're bumping the dock, and you're making 110.
It's unbelievable.
Where do we sign up? Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, like the company that I used to work for way back in the day, our biggest customer was Walmart. And those Walmart drivers, every single time they showed up, the shirts are all buttoned up, crisp shirts, this and that, and they just sign the bills and take the trailer and go.
So David B, we're going to talk about do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Drivers and rate increases. It looks like all the carriers have fallen in line here and taken their rate increases. So beginning of the year.
GRI.
Yeah, general rate increase. Looks like the drivers have stabilized out. People are still hiring for them, though. Looks like that has stabilized. So looks like things are getting back to old normal.
Yeah, normal. We've talked about that
Yeah.
on the show where, you kind of read some stories about some panic buttons being pushed on the economy not being as strong as it was like a year or two ago. Well, in reality, don't we think it's just kind of getting back to whatever normal is?
Right.
And it's kind of the way I still say that's what we're kind of taking that gradual fall down to normal.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
I think it's
I
back.
just I see it as that.
Yeah. And looks like the stocks are leveling back off and things like that. That's really all I had this morning, brother. That was a good interview with Mike. You look at the clock and you're like, wow, we were just talking to him for like an hour.
Yeah. And, I mean, but also Mike Lands is the guy where you could you got another hour?
Right.
Just keep
it's
talking.
true. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Nice
well
guy.
spoken.
And I bet
intelligent.
He is going to make an excellent teacher.
He'll be running that
Professor
place
Mike.
soon. Yeah,
Yes,
Professor Mike.
Got to remember that. for
Professor
next time.
Mike.
Yeah. So I didn't even go back and listen to the show. The show that we originally recorded with him. I just remember that him saying that he was a Patriots fan and all that stuff. So, but yeah, we don't hold that against him yet.
Right.
Right.
You got any random thoughts, brother?
I got one little trucking story that I kind of like to. The only thing I have this week is, and this article comes to us from the website CDL Life.
Oh yeah, good site.
And the topic of the story is there is no driver shortage, only a pay shortage. And this is, truck drivers and the OOIDA agree on this assessment. And the story starts off with trucking companies in Iowa and even the executive VP of OOIDA agree that there is no driver shortage despite statements from politicians and the ATA. The real issue is driver pay. So it doesn't really go through the article to talk about what the average driver pay is. And this is something that we've talked about quite a bit on this show, just from the beginning of how truck drivers are overworked, kind of underpaid. And I still don't really, like when you listen to Mike Lands, or if you listen to like other Walmart drivers talk about how they're paid, you're just wondering why that can't be more of an industry, the way the whole industry should be paid, instead of getting paid by the mile or whatever, where they're paid a salary and they're paid for, the hours that they work or whatever.
Right.
If I'm getting paid worth of 40 hours, no matter what I'm doing, I have to put in 40 hours worth of work. So, just kind of randomly go through here, where it talks about, to insure the driver $6,000 a year. That's money for insurance, and as a public good. But yeah, that's kind of all I got, is just kind of reading through here that there's definitely not a driver shortage, it's a pay shortage.
Yeah, I think that I think
But we all go through a pay shortage.
I think that Tim could attest to it too. I think the industry has kind of addressed that to make it better. Who knows, how much better it is, but it surely looks like some companies have really addressed it, and you can see that at Walmart. Holy cow! I mean, that's a lot of jack for somebody to get out the gate. So, but no, it's a good point, man. David, we will be back for one more show, right, before Christmas. David and I will be back together here.
We're going to do the 22nd, which is Thursday. Normally we do this on Saturday morning, but we want to try to, well, that'll be Saturday morning.
Yeah, it'll be Saturday morning. I can't do Thursday.
Yeah, the 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
My bad.
We'll do a Christmas Eve special.
There we go.
Christmas Eve special.
Yes, where's the mistletoe? Hopefully Timmy D can join us for that one.
Yeah.
His
doing some babysitting.
Yep. Doing dad duty.
Daddy do. Did you get the invite?
No. Yeah, oh, yeah. We talked about that. Let's talk about that
Yeah.
off air. I got confused.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and of course, I don't read very well.
Oh.
He's like, "Did you read it?" And I'm like, "No, was I supposed to?" But anyway, I did. Yes.
Okay. Well, everybody, thanks for listening to Ship's Gonna Happen, episode number 90. Hit that like and subscribe. David, you say it better.
Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Critique the video. Critique it any way you want. I mean, give us some positive. Give us some negative. Whatever. And
comments.
We'd love to hear We'd love to hear from everybody. So, yeah, it's been a great show. So thanks a lot, Tony, for having us today.
Yep. Ship's Gonna Happen out.